baldness and high testosterone levels tend to look better than baldness with low testosterone levels.
What is the best way to manage high DHT from transscrotal cream to protect my hair on my head? I'm on the mid-20s and don't want to lose my hair. He says, I really want to avoid injections. I've never been a fan of needles. What about alternate application sites like biceps or forearms? I think less DHT is produced this way. Is that correct, Dave?
Okay, so in this situation, my friend, you're not going to be able to have your cake and eat it too. You're going to have to pick some things here. So if you're not a fan of injections, but you're also not wanting to lose your hair, I mean, it's like you're going to have to pick the lesser evil. So firstly, if there was and this is my opinion, and I'm sure people online will disagree with me, and that's cool, go listen to them. But I am not a fan of any of the DHT inhibitors. I do not currently think that there is a safe and effective hair loss protocol. If there was, I probably wouldn't be bald. So I would recommend scalp micropigmentation. That's what I had done. So I am not a fan of even topical dutasteride because I treat the guys who got PFS from that, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So while it may be Russian roulette and there may not be very many bullets in the barrel, if you get hit by one of those bullets, I can assure you it absolutely fucking sucks. And it is not worth, in my opinion, risking having that happen to you for the sake of your aesthetics in terms of keeping your hair. There are other ways that you can increase your physical attraction while still being bald. I would like to think. I mean, you're talking to two bald men here. So when it comes to picking your protocol, it would seem that the topical testosterone application will increase DHT more than injections, regardless of where you apply it. The issue if you're going to apply it on, let's say, your bicep or inner elbow or like back of the knee, wherever people are applying this, is that you're going to get not just less DHT, but less testosterone in the body as well. So you're going to get less of what you're trying to achieve, and you may not be able to get the perfect outcome that you are looking for. So if you are prone to male pattern baldness, i.e. you have the male pattern baldness genes, it is going to be an uphill battle to keep your hair. Now, you may be able to use a combination of, let's say, topical dutasteride, ketoconazole shampoo, and maybe some topical minoxidil, and that will absolutely work to keep it at bay. But then you're going to not only run into the side effects of potentially developing something like PFS, which not only doesn't happen, but you can read the class action that was filed against the manufacturers, which they lost because they were aware of the permanent side effects in the clinical trials. You're also going to be massively reducing the most androgenic hormone in the body, which is DHT. And DHT has profound physiological and psychological benefits, which I talk about in my War on Masculinity video. Now, topical dutasteride may reduce it significantly less than, oral finasteride or oral dutasteride, but in my personal opinion, you actually want to be increasing DHT as much as possible to be getting the benefits of it. So probably asking the wrong person on this. And I'm sure there are other YouTube channels which will give you advice on how to, use a combination of these treatments to keep your hair and give you the answer that you want to hear. But in this scenario, firstly, I don't think anyone is a fan of injections when they're not using needles regularly. I think it's very normal to have apprehension towards stabbing yourself with a needle if you don't do it regularly. I always tell guys, look, the first 10, 20, 30 injections are going to feel weird and psychologically uncomfortable because you have to overcome the mental barrier of your survival instinct saying, don't stab me, and you going, no, this is good for you. Once you do it regularly and you realize it's a tiny little needle and it's a very small pinprick, it's not really something that acts as a deterrent. So you might find that if you start doing your injections, after 10 or 20 injections with like a 29 gauge insulin syringe, you go, this is actually pretty chill. I'm not really going to have an issue with this. But applying the cream to other areas of the body and then trying to use something to also suppress your DHT, you're going to end up running around in circles and chasing your tail and probably not getting the benefits that you're looking for. So I was devastated when I lost my hair. I was in a band when I was younger. I had, long hair that I used to, dye and shake around on stage and stuff. I was very attached to my hair. I was very upset the day that I went to the barber and I said, is it time? And he looked at it and he said, yeah, it's time to get rid of it. I was only 24, 25. But I basically put on some extra muscle on my shoulders and androgenized my facial features with testosterone. And I think I suit it pretty well. I like to think so. And I think what happens, and again, this is just my personal opinion, is that baldness and high testosterone levels tend to look better than baldness with low testosterone levels. I think the androgenized physical features make you suit baldness better. If you think of attractive male celebrities who are bald, they are all men with muscular physiques and a high testosterone presence or physicality. So I would be saying, well, if you haven't started TRT and you're worried you're going to look bad bald, you might find that you suit it a bit more once your body androgenizes as a response to your treatment.
Consider becoming a channel member for exclusive features, like loyalty badges, early access to new videos, funny stuff like rough cuts and bloopers, members-only photos and status updates on the community tab, and members-only livestream chat. On desktop, use the join button next to the subscribe. On mobile, use the join link in the description.